The Beyond the Fame podcast is fed by Lido Pizza. Lido Pizza never cuts corners. For menu and locations, visit LidoPizza.com. This month's programming is sponsored by Signature Theater, presenting the DC premiere of the untitled, unauthorized Hunter S. Thompson musical. Follow the godfather of gonzo journalism as he barrels through American history in this critically acclaimed new rock musical now through July 13th. Buy tickets now at sigtheater.org. And of course, this podcast would not be possible without our longtime title sponsor, the Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. Upcoming featured entertainment includes Switchfoot on July 5th and comedian Ari Shaffir on July 12th. Details and tickets at HollywoodCasinoCharlestown.com. Must be 21 to enter the casino floor and attend a show. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top filmmakers, musicians, and artists of our time. The iconic Motown group The Temptations performs live at a Capitol 4th in Washington, D.C. tomorrow at 8 p.m. on PBS. I caught up with the last surviving original member, Otis Williams, to discuss the group's journey to record classic hits like My Girl, The Way You Do the Things You Do, Get Ready, and Ain't Too Proud to Beg, as well as evolving into a new era for Cloud 9, Ball of Confusion, Just My Imagination, and Papa Was a Rolling Stone. Hey, Otis Williams. Hey, thank you so much for joining the show today.
My pleasure. How you do?
I'm doing good. We actually spoke back when Ain't Too Proud, the musical, came to the Kennedy Center in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah. So if folks want to check that out in the archives, that's cool and all. But hey, this time we are talking to Otis Williams, the founder and last surviving original member of The Temptations, because you were coming back to play a Capitol 4th down there near the National Mall on July 4th, 8 p.m. on PBS. How many times is this now? I feel like you've all played it before, right?
Yes, we have. I think this might be anywhere from my second to third time doing this. So it's a great thing to be recognized, to be part of something so momentous as celebrating our country's 249th birthday. So yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have the lineup in front of me. It's probably easier if I read it than asking you to try to list them off the top of your head. So Alfonso Ribeiro, Fresh Prince and all that great stuff. He'll be hosting again this year for maybe the third year in a row, I think.
Okay.
The Beach Boys will be there, and let me stop there. Yeah. We just lost Brian Wilson, so you'll be out there with Mike Love.
Yeah. Well, we've done quite a few shows with the Beach Boys, so it'll be a wonderful reunion.
Absolutely. We also got Trombone Shorty. He just did great opening up the Super Bowl. Lauren Daigle, Josh Turner, Yolanda Adams, Locash. It's a pretty great lineup.
Well, great to be sharing the stage with such wonderful, talented people. Some I've never met, but I've heard of them. So that's a big plus there, is just to be sharing the stage, and such a wonderful time to be sharing the stage for our 249th birthday of our great country. So, what can I say? It's just wonderful.
Absolutely. And the Temptations song that kind of comes to mind for me these days is Ball of Confusion, man.
Sure.
We all get together every July 4th and celebrate, the promise of what America can be and all that. But I gotta say, it seems a little different this year after the past couple elections and January 6th. I mean, do you all just get together as a group and say, we gotta play this event in spite of all this mess and, try to lead the way and heal the country?
Oh, yeah, no, we still do Ball of Confusion because it is what it is. That's part of what makes our nation so great. We've gone through some tenuous times, but still, here we are talking about it. We still do Ball of Confusion because when Norman Whitfield and Barrett Strong wrote that, we were going through that at the time. So I have that hanging up on my wall as one of the gold and platinum albums. So we still stay true to who we are, and we've had so many wonderful ballads. Love ballads to our political songs, and I'm just happy that through all the things that we've gone through, here we are, 62 to 63 years later, still doing the way we do the things we do.
Absolutely. And way to use some good puns on your song titles. I have to tread lightly because I know I have listeners of all of our political stripes, and we want everyone to tune into PBS, which current president has talked about cutting funding for it. It's a weird year. They just had the big military parade, all that stuff. But then you got progressive that just did the No Kings marches, and Independence Day is, we don't want kings. That's the whole point of this. No dictator.
Yeah, well, our history is as such. It is part of our history. So we'll stay true to who we are, the Temptations. But we understand that we've gone through certain things.
Yeah.
I'm 83, and our history is so historic that we have depicted some of our songs based on what we were going through as a country. So it is what it is, and I think we as Americans, we know we've gone through changes. We're still going through changes. The one thing that's constant in life is change. So you understand that, and you live with it, and you do the best you can. Because sometimes our change is not always good, but it is a change for possibly a better way of things. So, that's it. We'll just get out there and be the Temptations and hope the world still love the Temptations. Even though we're only doing 3 songs. So, and they'll be Get Ready, and I think Ain't You Proud, but we'll definitely close out with My Girl.
Music is the universal language, and folks of all stripes are going to be singing every word to all of those songs, man. Just keep on singing. It's got to be hard to whittle down your set list with all the great hits you've had over the years. And I'd love to do a deeper dive in maybe the creation of some of those songs in a second.
I'd dive right along with you.
Absolutely. We will. But you yourself were born, in Texas on October 30th, 1941.
Right.
That makes me smile because, breaking news, I have my first child coming on October 31st. My wife and I just announced it. You're the first
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's all right.
Yeah, and this papa ain't gonna be no Rolling Stone. This papa's gonna be home. But anyway, you're growing up. This is about you. Paint a picture of growing up. So I guess that's right when America's entering, Pearl Harbor's coming right around the time you're born.
Yeah, I love reading, first and foremost, and I love to read about, factual. I love reading about things that make me say, wow. I'm sitting here in my room, and I have books all on the couch, on the floor, because I love reading, and I like reading fact stuff. Fiction don't do nothing for me. I like it whereas I can say, wow, they did that, or they lived through that. God bless them. Give me the facts. Fiction don't do nothing for me. So, and then when I came to Detroit, my mother and I brought me from Texas to Detroit. I was about 12 years old, and that's when I got tuned into rock and roll, because rock and roll was just beginning to jump off. And at the Fox Theater, which we performed there and broke all records, but when I went to the Fox Theater and I saw Frank Lyman and the Teenagers, the Cadillacs, a lot of the Royal Jokers, a lot of groups and solo artists that inspired me. Now, the Fox Theater is the second largest indoor theater in America. Radio City is first. But to see almost 5,000 people going crazy over what 5 guys or 4 guys, whatever the group was, going crazy over them, I said, that's what I want to do. And when I got to be 19 or 20 years old, we were at the Fox Theater getting the same kind of accolades. And plus, at that time, we had signed with Motown Records. So it's a wonderful ride, and I have a lot of great memories of what I've seen and experienced and still experiencing 60 plus years later.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, thanks for explaining sort of moving from Texas into Detroit and falling in love with the early rock and roll. And at the time, it was 2 rival singing groups, right? It was you and Al Bryant, Melvin Franklin of The Distance, and you combined with Eddie Kendricks and Paul Williams of The Primes, and then you brought in David Ruffin as the lead singer.
Well, pretty much, Melvin joined my group. So Melvin and I had been on each other. He was 16, I was 17. And the metamorphosis of going to different groups and getting the right personnel. But Melvin and I were together all the way until we met up with Paul Eddie, and then later on David Ruffin. And then that's when we really took on a whole other kind of persona. And signed with Motown in 1961. And little did we know that Motown would become such an iconic label. And came along at a very interesting time because back then, that time, it was crazy. I loved Detroit, but we were going through changes, and city-wise, and, well, no, not only city, because what happened in Detroit happened in L.A., happened in Newark, New Jersey, various cities was going through, all kinds of craziness. And through it all, and what made Motown so different was Motown has been the only recording company in history that would send their artists to school. We had to go to school. We had to be taught about how to be on stage, how to carry ourselves. No other recording company thought about that, but Barry had hired some wonderful thespians to teach us, Supremes, Four Tops, Smoke and the Miracles, Marvin Gaye, all the greats. We had to go to school, and it benefited us because we adhere to what we were taught all the way now. And I guess it's up to me because the classic champs, they're no longer with us, but I still have the knowledge, and I pass it on of the do's and don'ts and the wills and the won'ts. So, a wonderful place.
Absolutely, yeah. We've had Berry Gordy on this very program, and what he built with Motown, it's the stuff of legend. It's one for the history books what they built there. And how did you actually meet Berry to get signed by Motown? What was the first encounter?
Oh well, my group at the time before we signed with Berry, my group was Otis Williams and the Distance, and we had a very popular record called "Come On," and it got played. I mean, from the morning to the disc jockeys went off, various disc jockeys, all the R&B stations. We used to do record hops at that time, and at this particular time, we did a record hop, and Berry came along with the Smoke and the Miracles, and I think they had Shop Around, Bad Girl, and they were doing their hit. So, my group, The Distance, when I came off, I just so happened I was standing next to Mr. Gordy, and he said, "I like that record you guys have out. Come see me. I'm starting my own recording company." He gave me his card, and little did I know, that's what happened, because the label that we were with, we became very disenchanted with them, and we left them and came and signed with Berry in 1961, and that's when history started being written, was when we came to Motown 61, and like I said, Motown was so unique, not only known for the hits, we had to go to school. Chimps, Smoke and the Miracles, Four Top, Diners, the Supremes, all of Motown's top acts, we had to go to school. We were taught about how to carry ourselves and be very confident performers and just be the right way, and that is what kind of separated Motown artists from all the rest of them, because we were taught how to really be professional.
Absolutely, you're right. It was like a persona that came along with the great sounding tunes. It was
Absolutely,
a whole total package, and the dance moves and the jackets and everything. It was a whole persona. We love it. Well, I'd love to hear. I'll throw out a couple of song titles at one at a time, and any memories you can remember of recording them.
Okay.
How about the way you do the things you do? The rhymes are simple. If you're rhyming handle and candle, but why? Any memories of when that first?
Yeah. See, that was the first record that the classic champs, David, Eddie, Paul, Melvin, and myself, recorded. Smoking Coal for us to come. It was on a cold January night, and the five of us, David, Eddie, Paul, Melvin, and myself, we walked up to Motown on West Grand Boulevard, and we went upstairs to where Smokey was, and he passed out the lyrics. So I'm reading the lyrics. You got to smile so bright. Could have been a candle holding you so tight. Could have been a handle. I'm saying to myself, man, this is some hokey stuff. What? So, okay, we went downstairs and recorded it. And I sat back and listened, and I said, wow, the cleverness of Smokey and Bobby Rogers. So when I see Smokey, I'm going to call Smokey and say, because I heard Smokey tell on his radio show, yeah, Otis didn't like the way you do the things you do. No, I didn't say I didn't like it. It was so uniquely different. Camel so bright could have been a handle holding you, I said, man, that's pretty clever. So, yeah, that one. And My Girl, I can tell you about that one.
Yeah, 'cause that was written by Smokey Robinson as well.
And Ronnie White, yeah. Smokey and his wife came to see us. We were at a club in Detroit called the 20 Grand. David, Eddie, Paul, Melvin, and myself. And he was so impressed with the show that he saw of us. He said, man, you guys are fantastic. And then he stopped and he looked at David Ruff and he said, I have a song for you. Now, we're a young man. Bring it on. We can sing anything, we had to go from Detroit and the Miracles and the Temps. We were at the Apollo for a week. In between shows, Smokey would call the rehearsals to teach us My Girl. So we learned My Girl, and we all came back to Detroit, went in the studio, and we put the background and the lead on. So I said, oh, that's another great song so Smokey came up with. But when Paul Reiser added the strings and horns on top of the song, Smokey was in the control room, and I was in the studio. I came out of the studio, and I came into the studio. Smokey was doing his producing thing, and I said, Smokey, I don't know how big a record this is going to become, but it's going to be a record. The record, My Girl, was released December of 1964. February of 1965, we were at the Apollo, not with the Miracles at that time. Berry Gordy sent us a telegram congratulating us. We sold over 1 million records. I still have telegram from the Beatles. They sent us a telegram congratulating us. The Supremes, they sent a telegram congratulating us. And the young man that used to run the Copacabana, because the Temps went in there, and we broke every existing record that was ever held at the Copacabana. So I have some wonderful memories that I could go on and on about just about each and every song.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. How about Get Ready in '66? That one's such an upbeat one.
Well, Get Ready was, there again, Smokey had like a nice tight hold on the Temptation, because he had My Girl, The Way You Do the Things You Do, Since I Lost My Baby. And so Barry was honoring that, okay, Smokey's got all these hits, we're going to stay with Smokey. Mm-hmm. But one day, Barry was getting out of the car. He was coming up to his office, and Norman Whitfield and I, we grew up together. And I was standing out front of Motown with Barry, and when Norman said, Barry, I got a hit on the Temps. We should put it out. So Barry said, well, I can't do that right now because Smokey has been on a run of hits with the Temps. I got to honor him with Get Ready. Okay, so they released Get Ready. Get Ready didn't crack the top 10. He got like number 22, whatever. So, cause Barry told Norman, if Get Ready to do top 10, Smokey's got the next release. Get Ready to do top 10. So that opened the door for Norman Whitfield for Ain't Too Proud. And boy, when we went in there and recorded Ain't Too Proud, oh boy, that was it. Norman had control of producing the Temps for the next 6 to 7 years, because we had hit after hit after hit after hit.
Ain't Too Proud. It just grabbed it from the beginning, man. I know you want to.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
I think last time you said the key was a little too high for David at first, and then he came out sweating with his glasses sideways.
You remember that? Yeah, because see, at the time, a lot of the producers would cut the song on a key higher. So I'd ask, why y'all put it out there where they got the string? And Brian Holland said, the reason we do that, if you put a key, put it in a comfort zone, they won't project the urgency, the dynamic thing. So they put My Girl on an Ain't Too Proud, I think in the key of C. And David was catching hell trying to, I know, and his glasses was all crooked. He was sweating and what have you. And we were up in the car. Come on, David. You can do it, David. We're just urging him to continue. He pulled it off. But boy, it was something else. So when we started doing it live, we kind of dropped the key just a little bit so he wouldn't wear him out.
Wow. That is such a great story. I'm glad we could go into that again. All right. Well, those were sort of the classic Motown era hits. But I do want to say, when David Ruffin leaves and Dennis Edwards, rest in peace, when he comes in 68, folks, look up that in the archives too. We had Dennis on before he passed, thank God, that was great. But yeah, when he comes in, the Temptations show a new side. You kind of go into that late 60s, 70s psychedelic soul era with Cloud 9 and Ball of Confusion, Papa Was a Rolling Stone and all that.
Right.
Just My Imagination. Right. How important was it for you all to prove you could evolve and evolve with the times?
Yes. It was a learning lesson for us because we lost David and entered Dennis. And we took on a different kind of approach for us, like Ball of Confusion and Cloud 9, Runaway Child, Papa Was a Rolling Stone. At first, we didn't want to record Papa Was a Rolling Stone. And it turned out to be one of our biggest sellers, so that was a whole other departure from the earlier songs that Smokey had produced on us. And we were able to be received wonderfully well. At first, when Cloud 9, because that was the first, and let me tell you how we came about doing Cloud 9. Kenny Gamble of Gamble and Huff, we were in Philadelphia, and Kenny Gamble and I, we were talking about records, naturally. And as we were talking about records, we heard doom, 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 doom. So it cut into our conversation. We said, who the hell is that? Little did we know it was Sly and the Family Stone. It was such a departure of sound from what was on the radio at the time. So
rest in peace again. Rest in peace to Sly.
That's true. Yeah. And we went back to Detroit, and I told Norm, I said, hey, man, there's a new sound that we should try. And at that time, we had Please Return Your Love, which was a top 10 record. Beautiful ballad. So when I mentioned it to Norman, is to understand Norman. Oh, man, we ain't going to record none of that stuff. Not bump that, bit bump that. He said all that. We went out of town, came back in town. Norman had recorded Cloud 9, the track to Cloud 9. So him and I were boys, we grew up together, and I knew him. I said, oh, no, you didn't want to do nothing like that. That was BS. And, oh, man, shut up. Come on, let's go in here and record that. That was
he had to feel like it was his idea,
Oh, he felt like a penny waiting for change. Yeah, that's right. And we won a Grammy. We were the first artist at Motown to win a Grammy on Cloud 9. And so, yeah, I have a lot of interesting stories to tell just about each and every step along the way of the Temptations for me.
I really appreciate you sharing all those. And yeah, you're right. You won the first Motown act to win a Grammy, and for that, no one can take that away from you. You've won, right, a handful or something over the years.
To walk around in my house, I walk around in my house, and I thank God because I have so many accolades along the way. And here, when my life story, me telling about how the Temps came about and what I've endured, broke records in New York. Still traveling all across the country, and it's been 4 or 5, almost 5 years that my play Ain't Too Proud has been doing so well that I never would imagine that my life story about the Temps would be loved so and told and true definition of what we went through. So there's a lot of things that has happened along the way that I never would imagine. But God and His fantastic blessing, I give it all to Him, because, being in the business that we're in, you are wonderfully well if you last 4 or 5 years. Here it is, the Temps has been doing it for 60 plus years. Still in demand.
Still?
Yeah.
Going. How many people's lives are that compelling to make a acclaimed Broadway musical out of the story? Like that is incredible. I got to see it, like I mentioned, at the Kennedy Center. We talked to you when you came to DC. This was like 2018, before it even went to Broadway in 2019. But
sure.
Yeah, it's a great show. If anyone has a chance to see it, absolutely go see it.
Thank you.
All right, I guess sort of final seconds. What other big career high? Oh, how about Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction? That was what, 89?
Yeah, some wonderful memories. But that time, that's when all except for Paul, because Paul had made his transition. But David, Eddie, Melvin, myself, Dennis, Richard Street. Was in the group at the time, and we all came up on stage to get our Rock and Roll Hall of Fame trophy. And, we all had a touching moment. We kind of cried because we were able to come together and give, each one of us had a little speech to give, and naturally we only wish that Paul could have been part of that, so that was a very touching moment. For us to come together, and everybody got their Grammy. Well, not everybody, but the classic Temps and Dennis. We all, and I have, fortunately for me, I have 5 Grammys, so I won some even after that. So I've just been a very blessed person. I thank God for the blessings that He's bestowed upon me and the rest of the guys.
Absolutely. And I know you've been to Kennedy Center Honors to honor Smokey, etc., right?
Yeah.
But have you ever received one yourself?
Not yet.
What the heck? That is the biggest overdue omission of all time. Lots of turnover at that place, too, per our previous discussion politically. But, yeah, I mean, they need to... Come on. Let's get the 10th an honor. Come on.
Well, you know what? I've had quite a few people said that to me, because for a long time, they wouldn't honor no groups. It's always been a solo artist or a musician, but never a group. But I just saw... who was it? It was another noted group that was being acknowledged. And
they've done it since, because I remember the Led Zeppelin guys got it. They've done groups.
Yeah. So they're opening it up to groups now, because I asked about it, and they said, no, they don't do groups. But they have since changed, because quite a few people said, they're going to call you to get you one. I said, man, look. Yeah, my knees shake when I'm up there with 4 more guys. If I have to get up there by myself and make a speech in front of all those important, intelligent people, they don't want to see me pass out on stage, because that's such a wonderful honor to be able to receive something like that.
Well, that's the thing at the Kennedy Center Honors. At least traditionally, you would sit up in the balcony and you just get to sit back and relax, and you let other people surprise you with tribute. So you deserve it. Let's give Otis his flowers now.
Yeah, while I'm still, you get no argument out of me.
Well, you know what? Maybe when you play those 3 great songs there down for Capitol Fourth on PBS, long live PBS. When you sing that, maybe the folks somewhere in DC, whether it's now or 4 years from now or wherever regime is in there, maybe they'll be like, we need to get the Temptations in here. Come on, it's time for honors.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I really appreciate you joining us at wild, crazy ball of confusion time in our nation's history, but the one constant through all of it, from the 60s turmoil to now in the 2020s, the Temptations still going strong. Otis Williams, thank you so much
for
your contribution to our culture. Seriously, I'm just smiling going over all these songs. I really appreciate everything you've given to us over the years.
Well, we couldn't have done it without such a wonderful fan base, and you are such, and I thank you for the support and the accolades that you've bestowed upon us. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate it. God bless, and keep doing the things the way you do the things you do.
I was about to say that. Yeah, we're going to do the things you do. The way you do the things you do. Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much again. I really appreciate it.
Back at you.
Thanks so much for listening to Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Our theme music is Scott Buckley's Clarion. Remember to give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time.